15 former judges, 77 former bureaucrats and 25 retired officers of the armed forces have criticized the Supreme Court's recent comments against Nupur Sharma, the since-suspended BJP leader whose remarks on Prophet Mohammed led to protests and a diplomatic row. Their open letter says that the two-judge bench's observation that she is single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country was a virtual exoneration of the dastardly beheading at Udaipur. All right, now let's take a look at what the court had earlier said in its remarks on Nupur Sharma as well. In fact, the Supreme Court Judge Surya Kant as well as Pardiwala had blamed Nupur for the communal tension, and it said that unfortunate, unprecedented. In fact, this is what the former judges in their open letter are saying, that it's unfortunate, unprecedented comments by the Supreme Court judges. Outrageous transgressions, they say, without parallel in the annals of judiciary, and outrage on the preamble as well. All this is being said in that open letter. Justice Pardiwala had earlier hit out at social media attacks on him after his remarks on Nupur Sharma.
The rule of law. Social and digital media is nowadays primarily resorted to expressing personalized opinions more against the judges per se, rather than a constructive critical appraisal of their judgments. This is what is harming the judicial institution and lowering its dignity.
So, Kirti is now joining us with more details on this. So, Kirti, the open letter suggests that what the judges said was pretty much exonerating those involved in the dastardly Udaipur attack. But can that link really be drawn? What are other experts telling you?
As far as this entire sequence of events is concerned, the important part to highlight over here is that whatever Justice Suryakant and Justice Pardiwala had said, that they were only observations that they had made during the court proceedings, and none of that was actually entered in the court order, which simply stated that after the court was not convinced of the arguments made by Maninder Singh, who is representing Nupur Sharma, the court suggested if was thinking about what to do with the plea ahead, and then that's when Mr. Maninder Singh said that he would want to withdraw the plea. So the plea stands withdrawn. So it's only the procedural stuff that ended up going into the court order, and none of those observations actually went into the court order. So the question of really withdrawing comments mostly ends up at times when those kind of comments have been entered in a judgment or a verdict. But oral observations being questioned in this manner and then people seeking withdrawal of those comments is extremely rare and very new. So highly unlikely that this is something that is going to be taken up as an issue by the Supreme Court, and whether judges or not should withdraw their comments, because then it also becomes an endless thing. Tomorrow, if they make their comments or any observations during any other hearing, then would the court be under pressure to withdraw those comments later when there are comments on social media or even open letters like these by former judges? So withdrawal, not a likely scenario by the Supreme Court judges. However, it is an important development nonetheless that former judges have now written this letter, because it's one thing for the social media to criticize comments that have been made by Supreme Court judges and then to target those judges, but something entirely different when you have 117 signatories in a letter, including at least 15 former judges, including coming from former judges of Rajasthan as well as Bombay High Court. So the fact that there are crucial names here is what is making it worth highlighting at this point of time, and how they say that the kind of comments that Justice Suryakant and Justice Pardiwala made exonerates the way those Udaipur killings had been done. So important points that have been made in this letter, but as far as the technicalities are concerned, highly unlikely that this is something that the Supreme Court will take up as an issue and the judges will end up withdrawing their comments.